Hi guys, so a little story time. So it's just about making sure, like, you get a second opinion as well, even though you're seeing maybe the best doctor in the country, in the province, in the world, whatever. But the way my pain started the first time, it was just normal day. I was sitting outside having my coffee. I had a really slow morning. As I was getting ready, I got up from like this little bench I had outside in my garden, and my whole body just like froze. I was like in one position, couldn't move, never mind move my body, I couldn't even move my fingers. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, it was just like my whole body just tensed and it stayed in one position. And it was so bad that like I couldn't even breathe properly. I literally didn't know what to do. Unfortunately, I can't like remember everything. My memory is extremely bad. That's for another day. I was terrified. I thought, okay, maybe it's just like a cramp. It'll go away, in a moment. But it didn't. I ended up getting stuck on the stairs for I think a good 20 minutes. Eventually, I went to, I think 2 or 3 normal doctors, general practitioners. They did full blood panels, x-rays of my neck, of my back, everything, checked me for viruses, whatever. And I eventually got to a doctor, normal house doctor, and they were like feeling my fingers, and I was like, ow, ow, ow. And she said to me, I think it might have something to do with like arthritis. And I said to her, but I'm like early 30s. How is that even like possible, right? So at that point, I was kind of between, do I need to see a rheumatologist or a neurologist? Sorry. I decided, no, this whole rheumatoid arthritis thing just doesn't make sense to me whatsoever. So I was like, okay, I'm going to phone a chiropractor. Went to the chiropractor, she checked me out, and she said that I have, well, it seems like I have a slip disc, like in my lower back. Okay, cool, that kind of probably made sense where the pain came from, but she also said that she can't, the rest of the pain wouldn't be related to that. But okay, we started treating for that. So saw her, and then I had like again, can't remember the time frame, but it was quite a few sessions with like she's like a physio, but more of like a sports coach. And she did, obviously massages, whatever. I've always had really bad tension here at the top, but I think that's something that a lot of us experience, just because most of us probably sit the whole time. I mean, this is more than 2 years ago, I'm sure. I think probably 3 even, it could be. And yeah, I couldn't sleep at night, and it started being like a jerking pain at night. Now keep in mind that with my like bipolar and stuff, I'm also on really heavy medicine at night to help me sleep. And I noticed the pain was coming like, I don't know if you guys can see, I'm going to try. It was coming from like here, from the back. But it was more like in the middle. And it was radiating up into my skull. And what happened is that pain just kept radiating down, And even if I tried like the mind over matter thing, try to think the pain away, it would jerk me. Like I would literally have like these heavy movements, that the pain's so bad, it's like I made this automatic like feeling like this the whole time. I don't know, maybe a lot of this doesn't make sense or relate, but it was a really strange sensation. You know, I started hitting the Adcodols really hard, you know, codeine. I started on just literally any pain tablets that I could find. And I drank a lot of them on a day. And no one could figure out what was wrong. So then eventually the pain kind of subsided a little bit. And then, you know, that's when I then went to a rheumatologist. You know, fibro and rheumatoid. And I started explaining these pains to him, and he would say, no, it's all related. Or he'd say, oh, I'm not sure. Now, we all know that fibro is still a very unknown illness, that there's a lot of symptoms that you just can't explain it. I had a flare-up in the one visit that I went, and I said to him, and I showed him exactly where the radiating pain is here at the back, and I told him like my whole arm pains, and that like over my hip I would have extreme pain as well. Like it feels like I just want to like press it hard, and it was so bad I can't sleep on my right hand side, I can't sleep on my left hand side. I would have a hot bean bag on my neck. I would have a water bottle on my hip. I am sure there's a lot of people with that pain, and they're seeing the best doctors they can. I just started you know, making peace with it, that okay, it's part of the fibro somehow. Now keep in mind that, you know, the first thing that I did when my pain started was see a chiropractor, and they thought it was a slip disc in my lower back. So since then, obviously, I am seeing my rheumatologist still every month, for I think almost 2 years now. Do blood tests every month. Surprise, surprise, blood tests are all clear. I also make sure to see my psychiatrist and my psychologist very often. My psychologist has been such a big help in my life. I remember as well that even though it's physical pain that we're experiencing, you do deal, I am dealing with grief. I have a lot of resistance. I am catastrophizing stuff, you know, and already having mental health issues, now having physical health. I struggle really bad. So I would say make sure that you do have a psychologist, that you have not just one good house doctor, but two. You know, go see them, tell them the exact same symptoms. Don't tell them what the other doctor said first, you know. Tell them the exact symptoms and check with them, like, you know, what they say. That way you have two different people. Try and see a physio if you can. Acupuncture helps. For me, it's not long lasting, but it's temporary relief. But the biggest of all is the fact that I went to a second chiropractor. I'm lucky if I get a few nights in between where I don't get that radiating pain. And I couldn't. I was sitting outside on the grass and I was just crying my eyes out. I just didn't know what to do anymore. My team of doctors have been wanting to send me to a pain clinic, but I just don't want to go there yet. I think I'm just scared. Haven't really accepted everything yet as well. That's another big thing. But when I went to this second chiropractor, he said to me, like, my whole spine is going like this. All that pain that I had on my right hand side, he says, because of like the spasm pain, you know, when you're in a flare up and you're lying in a certain position to try and suppress the pain, or, you know, all of that has such an influence. And it turns out that my right hand side was basically, so it was basically like this, right? My right hand side was about, I think, this much, you know, this much shorter than my left hand side. And he said to me that there's a lot of work to be done. He tried to adjust me so that my right hand side is a little bit more aligned. And when I walked in there crying, not being able to stand still, even I was like pacing around because I couldn't stand still, I couldn't sit still, I just couldn't do anything. And I couldn't sleep. And when I walked out there, the pain wasn't completely gone, but there was a massive sense of relief. So wherever you are in your journey, make sure that you get that second opinion. I'm currently busy looking for another rheumatologist as well. I have 2 general practitioners. Depending on the issue, I pick which one to go to. Chiropractor, definitely try and work that in, definitely. When we go into these spasms and into this pain, we don't know what's happening inside of our body, and if you're not getting the relief like you need, it might really be something that can benefit you in some way, or at least remove a certain pain, you know, in a certain spot. And maybe you have thought about it. Maybe you've done it. Maybe it hasn't helped. You know, this is me speaking from my heart, and I'm still very early into my healing, and getting that second opinion, having 2 doctors for the same thing, and revisiting certain things is definitely worth it. So that was a very long story. I felt I wanted to share it, and yeah, if you have any other help or advice, or things that you've noticed in your healing journey with fibro or rheumatoid arthritis, please share. And thanks.